Hello everybody, and welcome to our channel. Winter is turning into spring, and that means it's time to make over our garden. We have several garden areas, however the main two are the front garden next to our driveway and our back garden. Our backyard is where we keep our fruiting trees. We have blueberry bushes, peach trees, cherry trees, and apple trees. We'll be planting flowers in boxes on our balcony and a couple of apple trees. We also have to replant a couple of azalea bushes along the length of our driveway. We will also weed, fertilize, and remulch, and add stones. Let's begin! First thing we need to do is we need to go shopping at Lowe's. Yes, while everybody was panic buying toilet paper, we bought 50 bags of mulch. We're going to be planting marigolds, and we actually had a lot of trouble planting these. The roots were coiled up in the bottom and they were just not popping out. Usually if you just squeeze the sides of the container, the entire thing will just pop out, but that was just not happening here. So we eventually just got a pair of scissors and we cut them open, and we actually broke quite a few of the flowers.
We did a terrible job. And it's all on camera. It's just the joke. They've all broken. And this one too. And this one. And this one. What's up here? Should they? Looks like somebody stepped on it.
The next thing we planted were snapdragons. In Bulgarian, these flowers are called kuchence, which means puppies or little dogs, and I'm going to show you why in a second. If you squeeze them on the side of the flower, it'll pop open and they look like they're opening their mouth and going bow, 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 bow. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. And the last thing that we did was we planted geraniums. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. After planting the geraniums, the snapdragons, and the marigolds, we watered them using a 2-gallon watering can. We used one 2-gallon watering can for each one of the planters. The flowers, whenever you're watering them, you want to water them for a little bit and then let it rest and add some more soil and then water it some more. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. The next thing we're going to do is take care of the azaleas next to the driveway. These are so beautiful in the summer, but right now they're just recovering from the winter time. A couple have died, and there are a lot of weeds. In order to plant these new azaleas, what we did was we dug out the old ones. We dug a hole large enough for the pot, and then we used Pete's planting mix and the native soil and mixed it and use that in order to plant the new azaleas. Since these are bigger plants, squeezing this container might be more difficult, which is why I just rolled it on the ground in order to loosen it from the pot.
Whose butt's gonna be on the camera, Mommy? Both of us down. Oh yeah. Where's the big what were you gonna do? Just throw it down? Just what?
We're gonna throw this down.
So after transporting the apple trees using the laziest possible method, we were digging holes for them. Now, these holes that we're digging seem pretty large considering the size of the apple trees. However, we have a lot of rocks in our soil, so we wanted to remove as many as possible in order to allow the root system to spread out as the tree grows. Since we live on a mountain, we also use some of the stones that we dug up and placed them above the trees in order to prevent erosion during rains. Now we're finally on to the front garden. We weeded it, we removed all dead leaves and debris. Thankfully, we live on a mountain, so we don't have to worry about throwing things away. Here you can see me fertilizing some of the hostas. Then we fertilize the roses. And finally I worked on fertilizing the fruit trees. A drip line is where the canopy of the tree ends. I've drawn it on the screen to help you. You should place most of the fertilizer around this line. You need to measure the diameter of the trees and fertilize them with 2 cups of fertilizer per inch. Now here's the part that transforms the garden the most, placing mulch. In the front gardens we're going to be using this red mulch. We're also placing mulch around the roses and in the plants in front of the house. In the back garden, we're going to be using no-float mulch because we have issues with erosion on the mountain. I'm going to be honest, the jump in footage here is because I got distracted and we had a little bee following us, and every time we opened a new bag of mulch, he would follow us and roll around in the new mulch, and then a butterfly landed next to him, so that's why that footage is gone. Final task is collecting stones and carrying them to the front garden to use them as a border. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the thumbs up if you liked it, click the B if you want to subscribe. We'll see you next week. Bye!